Hello, everyone. Today we have very interesting topic. I think everyone can hear me normally and everything is good. Thank you for joining us. Today we have the topic how to search for job and clients on the LinkedIn. So everyone, we know that LinkedIn is very important tool to search job, clients, people, connection, and for networking. So our expert, Natalia Iwan, will be today the speaker. She is really high qualified in this topic. So you will be listening very interesting presentation. You will be see very interesting tools, and you will be managed by yourself to creating your LinkedIn page. I think after this seminar, you will be expert too. So I'm really happy to give the floor to Natalia Ivan. So she will be present today the presentation and herself too. Please, Natalia, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
You can start.
Thank you. Welcome you all very warmly. And I hope you hear me well. Okay. At first, let me very shortly introduce myself because I have experience in marketing and promotion for over 20 years. And maybe it's important because 20 years ago, the LinkedIn didn't exist yet. So during my presentation, I focus all on the features and functionality of this tool, what is very new, and the LinkedIn wasn't being like this 20 years ago, as I mentioned. What I would like to underline in my introduction, working with marketing and promotion, I worked for different companies, different industries, including fuel, retail, sale, websites, application, and big data and solution. Currently, I have been working for as a marketing leader for a company with a financial profile, very sensitive because of the data. Also, in my professional career, I always be working as a training in specific marketing topics. I have successfully participated in similar projects for people starting their businesses and also for people searching for a job, including teenagers. So this target group was very important, and they have different experiences than business. So as I introduce myself, look please at some pictures from my trainings. And let's start to talk about the agenda. In our meeting, I would like to focus and at first, I would like to start with some numbers, with some statistics about social media in Georgia, and especially also about the numbers of profiles on LinkedIn. Then all this session, I will repeat and repeat over and over how much important is the image, how much important is the quality of content you are going to present, or you already been presented on your personal or company profiles on LinkedIn. Then we will focus on the practice tips, how to become an expert and influencer, opinion maker on this tool. And very practice stage of our webinar will be about, as Diana mentioned, about the tools and about the different than LinkedIn solution to increase your effectivity on this website, on this platform. Of course, I will summarize our meeting, our webinar, and we will have also a time for questions. But if you would like to ask the question during the meeting, just do not hesitate to stop me, to interrupt and ask me about whatever you wish during the presentation. Okay, so let's start with the numbers. I used the statistic from January 2021, so they are from this year. And one more information about the numbers from LinkedIn I will present from October 2021, so they are very, very fresh. As you can see, at the beginning of this year, social media user in Georgia, it was over 3 million people. And 2020 to 2021, the increase was about 15%, which means 400,000 people joined social media in Georgia. If you would like to compare to the population in your country, people on the social media is about 77% of total population. As we can see on the next slide, well, I can't see because I see you in a moment. So, okay, as you can see on the next slide, this is the representative of social media devices, but by different channels. So, the over 3 million people on social media included 12% person profiles on LinkedIn. So if you can think about the social media and just ask yourself what marketing channel or social media is good for me, if I will find my customers or employees over there. So you can think that 12% of those potentials contacts are on LinkedIn. Why the LinkedIn is important, I will just tell you at the end of this slide. The LinkedIn is the largest social networking site, which one is focused on building business relationships. The people on LinkedIn, they expect business contacts. They expect expert professional offers. They also use LinkedIn to search for the employers or to search for jobs, to search for the company. And the searching on LinkedIn is very, very effective because the search on this website is very efficient. So you can search by different filters, which I will show you later on. And the slide I would like to present, it's LinkedIn users in Georgia in October 2021, divided by age. So as you can see, 61% of people on LinkedIn are in the age between 25, 34, and probably this is your group. So you can find the people over there just like you, searching for the job, searching for the opportunities, searching for the clients. That's why LinkedIn is so important to start the relationship, business relationship. Okay, so whatever you are going to do on LinkedIn, even if you have already created your profile, personal or companies, it's very important to think about this kind of the presentation on LinkedIn, like about the strategy, the process to build your image, whatever you would like to work on your personal profile or company profile. Think always about these activities, like about the presenting of the image, because whatever is your goals on the LinkedIn, people, clients, employees, they will always check on you and check your profile, reading the text, looking at the graphics, paying attention, what do you share or comment. So it's like you opened personal or company's board, but it's also dedicated to the business. That's why you have to pay attention. What kind of the image do you present on LinkedIn? Starting the activities, marketing, promotional activities on LinkedIn, it's not only to create the profile. As you probably know, we have two types of profiles on LinkedIn: personal and business, as I mentioned before. And those profiles, the employees' personal profiles should be always connected to the company profile. Of course, if you do have a business by your own, you're supposed to have two profiles on LinkedIn. One, it should be your business, and I will show you the examples of business profiles. And of course, you should have a personal profile as an expert, and those profiles should be connected. Why? When the profiles are connected, employees' professional career is automatically shown on personal profile. So from the positions that you are looking for a job, you have basically your business professional portfolio on your LinkedIn profile. And this way, you have automatically references that you work for other companies before. So today, and especially when we have pandemic, the people do not contact personally, and they base searching for the information on LinkedIn. So we do not send each other during the recruitation any longer. I don't know if you would like to ask a question, or shall I continue? Okay, I will continue.
I think you need to continue. Yes,
okay,
it was
okay,
just.
Okay, no problem. So we don't send to our potential employer any longer any printed documents. When the potential company want to recruit us, do not call to our latest boss. They just base on the information on internet. So they at the first step, they check the LinkedIn, and I will show you how much recruiters, how much other clients search for my professional profile on LinkedIn just to ask me a question about the potential business connection, business cooperation, or just offer me a job. So that's why it's important to connect the profiles between the personal profile and company profile. What else? Just having a profile on LinkedIn, it's not enough to think that, okay, I got a promotion and I do the marketing on LinkedIn. So just having a profile without any action doesn't do any good for the company. That's why you should have some kind of the goal. You should have some kind of the, let's say, a small strategy. Why do you have to have a profile on LinkedIn? And for example, the strategy on LinkedIn you could have, it could be building a company image by promoting an expert's profile of your employees. As we have employees in our company, or only me as an owner is the only one employee, it doesn't matter how many this employees profile do you have on LinkedIn, and when do you connect them, you just build the image of the company showing how very good experts do you have in your company. By this connection, you don't have to do anything. When your employees just publish some information on your company profile, you can you can share the content. You don't have to do the content by yourself. The goal related to the strategy I mentioned before could be to get, for example, 150 followers on company's profile per year. Just to let you the big pictures. The biggest part of a company's profile on the LinkedIn has about 50 followers at all. You may say that this is not good enough. It's not a big number, but having on the company's profile more than 50 followers is a great job. It's a great job. It's a good strategy, good achieved goal, because you have an audience. You have a potential clients. You can publish a content for them for free, and you can ask them and offer them your solution or products. So that will be about the goal. And then having a profile, have a small strategy, and define goal, which I didn't mention. The goal needs to be defined by the numbers. So after the year, you will be able to summarize and just say, okay, I achieved the goal. I have 151 followers, so I did it. Or I have 149 followers and I didn't do it because there's one less. But the numbers not very important at the moment, but the goal needs to be defined on the numbers. And then when you have strategy and you know what you want to achieve, then you have to take an action, make a short plan, do it, and after some period, let's say a year, just summarize, evaluate, and if needed, you need to redefine the goal and strategy, but you always can do it based on the numbers, on the statistics. Okay. What to do to have a very nice profile on LinkedIn? At first, I would like to give you three tips, and then I would like to show you my favorite Dr. Maciej Kawecki profile on LinkedIn. Probably you do have your favorite profile on LinkedIn too, and we can talk about it later, and you can show me later your favorite profiles. What does it mean to be an active expert on the LinkedIn, and why it's important? Who is the expert? Expert is always the person who have a knowledge and really can share the knowledge, and what's most important, knows how to do it, because it's not easy. Based on the Maciej Kawecki example, I would like to give you 3 tips. As I said, at first, you need to publish, if you want to be active expert, influencer, opinion maker, you need to publish very attractive and unique post content on your profile, but it needs to be also professional. So, for example, if I am a marketer working with marketing and promotion long time, I publish and share information related to this branch. So I publish information, practical information from my day-to-day job about, for example, storytelling, LinkedIn using, Facebook using for business. They might be unique, and they are unique because they are related to the financial sector I work for. That's why they are unique. The marketing knowledge has million people working in marketing in many countries, but marketing knowledge related to the finance sector, there's much more smaller group with this kind of the experience. What is important? The attractive and unique material doesn't mean only text. It means different forms also, such as movies, graphics, interviews, all kinds of the reports. And what is important, you do not have to prepare all this kind of the materials by yourself, because there's a lot of very interesting opinion, and that's why
Hello. Can you hear Natalia? I think she has some connection problem.
Yeah, I think so, because I did not understand like in one moment. So
okay, let's wait.
Okay.
You are here?
Yes, Natalia? I am. Yes, okay. I am.
Please share your screen again.
Okay. Okay. Can you see Maciej Kawecki? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the attractive and new material first, and your professional experts comments. Also, when you comment others' posts, they need to be, the comments need to be professional. Yeah, you can make jokes, whatever, but please remember that what people will think about you, how they will even judge you, they will always focus on the business professional expert side. Well, and this is the second tip. You need to be active. You have to share and comment other people's posts. So do not only publish yourself, but just leave your comments on other posts, other profiles. And the third tip, you constantly need to expand your network of contacts. And the important thing is to collect in your network those kind of the contacts which will in the future be used for the business or for the recruitment. It could be a role, but we just need to understand the character of LinkedIn. This is a business. This is a portal for business. So of course, invite to your private social network on LinkedIn, your friends from the school, from the university, but you have to focus really on those contacts who can bring you a contract or job agreement. Let me switch to maybe before I switch, please look at the graphics of Maciej Kawecki LinkedIn profile, and I underline on red over here that the guy has almost 40,000 followers. Can you imagine that on your profile, private or company profile, whatever you wanted to do, search for the job or offer your services or products to the clients, you do have 40,000 followers. This is a 40,000 potential people who can respond on your business or respond on your job offer you want to offer to the employees. But as I mentioned before, those contacts has to have a value to the goal and strategy you want to achieve, you define, and you take an action to achieve. Okay, something happened with my presentation. Doesn't want to go on. Sorry for this.
Just click one time and okay.
Okay, so just to repeat the information how to become an active expert, opinion maker, influencer on LinkedIn. Remember always about the quality. But I'm sorry, I forgot to switch to the LinkedIn to show you Kawecki. He's a scientist in a university in Warsaw, Poland. He focuses on the modern technologies, but he doesn't write posts only about the programming and data, very, very technical stuff. As I mentioned, when I make the screen of his profile, it was 39,000 followers, and I prepared my presentation a week ago. So today his followers is 42,000 people. It's wow. But what was important, as you can see, his profile is fulfilled with all information. There's no empty spot over here. He has a nice graphic.
The screen is not shared.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just a moment. Thank you. Okay. How about now?
Yes, now
it's okay.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. So, 1,000 followers. Personal profile fulfilled with the information. No empty spot. He has a graphics. This graphic he changes very often because he combines his internet activities and offline activities. So he participates as a speaker with all kinds of events. He promotes the events with the graphics, with the posts, make movies during the events, make posts, and publish everything. So following the information, do not empty spot. He's active, so his activities are collected in one place on LinkedIn. You can see all his activities, articles, posts, documents, whatever. And I understand that you see it in Polish, I think, but just to let you know what he's writing about.
Can you a little bit zoom in your screen, this one, please, just to see better? Yes.
Is it better now? Yes.
I think it's good now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. This is it with comments, so maybe I will be back to his profile, his posts, because they are doubled. When he comments, they are they've been repeated on this wall. Okay, this is about the how to. The translation is from the top of my head, so sorry for English. This is about the how to make arrange the rooms, different places for the dogs, and how technology can help us with this problem. So the animals can feel feel very well in the rooms, halls, and different places. How technology can help with this? This is about something about magic and about the physics, and it's I don't have to convince you with this very short time that this is very nice. In Polish, I understand this. I'm not physics. I'm not a scientist, but these cases I'm showing you I would like to underline that he didn't make this picture with the dogs. Also, he didn't make these movies because he always shows the links and information who is the author of the movies. This is about the physics, creativity, and about how to connect the technology and nature, modern different buildings, houses, offices. And as you see, he's not creating some materials referring to the text, but what he has a knowledge, he has an idea how to comment the photo, the movie. And this is the latest post. I really like it. This is the pictures of his grandma notes, everyday notes, regarding to how money does she spend for the groceries. And we have a crazy inflation in Poland and right now. The prices for food increased about 80% from month to month. And what did he do? He doesn't share the report with the statistics, the news about how the government is not dealing with the problems. He took the picture, as you see, and what he said, my beautiful grandmother is almost 90. She's been making notes of her expenses for many, many years. And he analyzes the expenses for the groceries, for the food, on her notes. So it's personal, it's connected to the reality very much indeed, because the inflation, as I said, it's just, like a storm. And I can, on this profile, I can just, go over and over. But coming back to his covers, to his profile, we are just stopped on his activities. This is his experience. As I mentioned before, why personal profile should be connected to the company's profile. Because when you are connected, the people who are looking for your services or want to employ you, they will see that you worked before this kind of the company, They see your position over there, the time you've worked there. Sometimes people add this information about the main duties in the companies they work for. This goes automatically but you have to connect. The next thing, next information, very important on your personal profile is about your education. And the next, your skills and recommendation. This I would like to stop for the moment. As I mentioned before, you do not send the recommendation from your past employees any longer printed one. This is your CV. This is your professional career described on LinkedIn. So it's very important to complete, to take care of the recommendation. Basically, when you cooperate with someone, and if you will follow my LinkedIn profile, after the couple of weeks, I will absolutely ask Diana for the recommendation. And I will do it right away when our project is finished. Why? Why not? Why now? Or why so shortly? Or why during the time we are cooperating, and not a year or 2 or 3 longer? Maybe you would like to answer this question.
But it depends on, yes, the personality, who like someone don't like to even to put a recommendation letter or something like this, not only in the public, but also directly. Not everyone agree generally to give the recommendations.
Okay.
So okay. I just, it's only just my mind.
Okay, of course, thank you. Okay. But,
yeah, I think the same, because sometimes when I'm asking the recommendations from, for example, a lecturer, they are telling me that they don't have the time or something like that. So it's depends on the person and their like skills or time or resources. So yeah, it's depend.
Okay. But you know what is worth to consider, that if you know someone in the real time and you cooperate in the real time, and as I mentioned, Diana, can I have this example? We cooperate now, you know, and we will for a couple of weeks longer. And Diana at the moment knows me. She knows what is the quality of my job. She knows how I, you know, just present webinars information, and we will meet each other. And when the relations are fresh, the emotions are fresh too. And Diana will have the opinion shortly, but after 2 or 3 years, when we finish the project, she probably will forget, or a little bit forget. And she will be in different projects with different people. And that's why she probably won't have a time for me to write the opinion. And from my experience, if you have a good relation, business or personal, you can always ask the person at the time. And of course, there is no force to publish. Even if you ask someone on LinkedIn for recommendation and someone return the recommendation back and you wouldn't like them, you won't publish them. But the very great moment to ask about the opinion, to ask about the recommendation, and there's this moment when you have a close cooperation. And it's good to have the recommendation, and you doesn't have to have plenty of them. Like he has 4, he has given 6, and he has received 4. But this is a very important section on your profile if you want to look for a job, even if you are looking for the client, because this is the place where the clients can share the good experience of the cooperation with you, or your bosses, your employers can share the good opinion about you as an employer. So this is the other section about the publication, about the awards or certificates. If you have, it's good to show, to present on LinkedIn. Also, how many languages do you know? He knows only 2. And interest. This information about interest also will place us as an expert, as a person with the experience to the some kind of the topics, branches, sectors, and basically we'll show our employers or clients, potential clients, what kind of the sector branch we work for. So it's not good to open the profile, to create profile on LinkedIn, and to do not fulfill the profile with the content. So if you don't have enough time to take care of your profile, to publish from time to time or share or comment other posts, do not open it, because the marketing channel, the social media channel, if you do not take care of use, it's not good. It doesn't make any good for your business or for your image. Do you have any question to this part, or I can proceed? I'm just asking.
I want to ask, please, if I can. So when he did the posts, he also put that, I mean that in this guy, the Marcek, yes, he put the hashtags too, yes, during the post. So how it's working, I'm interested about this, how the hashtag workings and how we should to use it. Also, interesting that some people have the some information on the LinkedIn, summarize information about, so I am this, I'm like a PhD student, or I'm already finished, I'm working here, and I'm interested in this one. Some one of them, they have some like summarize information
about me.
It's good. Yes, it's good to put the information, summarize information, or just put only this step by step, like how you will be recommended.
Yes, the first question about the hashtags. Yes, the hashtags. It's very popular in internet in general, and works as a keywords and phrase for the search. Of course, for the different services or platforms, hashtag works better or not, or worse. For example, if you would like to use a Google search, you don't need to have a hashtag, because with hashtag or without hashtag, Google search by words and spelling. This same in LinkedIn, but when you just use and mark hashtag in the search, it works like the search look like without hashtags will show you a list of the content related to the hashtag. So you just so it works. People use the hashtags, but for the search and the effects in internet to find you or your company, it doesn't really much matter. But also, of course, people do use the hashtags, and when you just click the hashtag, you can find the list of the content related to the hashtag. But mark, there's a sign of hashtag. It's just it's a casual. It's like we just men put the ties when they want to dress up. So you can use it, but it doesn't really matter. And the second question about the section with the information about me. Yes, yeah, you should use it. You should fulfill with the text, with the content. Looks nice, but remember that the people don't read very long text, because they don't have a time. They don't have time. They don't focus on text. But why I recommend it? Because it's good for Google search. So when I would like to search for the job, I would describe in this section with hashtags or without, it doesn't matter really, whatever I have been dealing in marketing with. So I will put the keywords as Google Ads, social media, especially LinkedIn and Facebook, Google Analytics for all kinds of the campaigns, marketing automation with the different solutions. Think about storytelling and others to fulfill information about me, the description and about my experience this way. So if you, Diana, would like to hire me for your business, and you will specifically look for the person who will take care of the LinkedIn, you will find me. And of course, what is worth to say that whatever you write in internet, and especially on LinkedIn, think about the phrase and about keywords you use in text, because all the technology for search based on the keywords. So if you are specifically connected to the sector, you produce a software for accounting, for example, yes? So you have to think about to use these keywords in your posts, in your comments, the description on your profile, business or personal. It's a software for accounting, because this is your core, this is your business core. Have I answered the question?
Yes, and I have one more.
Okay.
You will show us the skills, which is skills, and where we edit some our skills and about ourselves. It's
okay.
down, I think.
Okay. Listen, this is my okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, because that I saw the Georgians profile. Generally, they did not edit these topics like skills. They're just putting the education only and job, and that's it. So it's not very informative generally, and because I asked.
Okay, I presume that the section on Polish LinkedIn are similar than in Georgian, but I haven't checked because I don't know Georgian's alphabet, sorry. And I changed my profile to English, so you can follow. So when you just start with your LinkedIn and you use this in the main tools, you use me and you view your profile, you will see this kind of the view with the possibility of editing. And in my opinion, everything as a tools, they are very simple, yes, because I just apply a change photo I wouldn't like to change, so I won't do it. I can delete, I can crop, so I can do some filters. So this is I think it's simple. So, but if anyone has a problem, I would like to just answer after the webinar. I can just help sharing the screen and work on someone's profile. But where's the sections? And go like this. Sections, education, skills. Yes. This is a section you can also edit by deleting some kind of the top skills and adding. This is delete. And when you want to add, you just add a new skills over here. So you can select, or you can try to training. Come on. And save. If you don't have this section on your profile, there is a way to add this section, but I can't see at the moment. Oh, over here, sorry. Add the section. When you add this section, you will see it on your profile, and then you will be able to fulfill with the information, to put the information. Of course, there is always better to use the section if you have an idea how to do it and you really are able to write some nice notes about yourself. If you don't have it, you don't use the section. But even if you don't use the section about yourself, you can always use the keywords over here. And I don't have to write a long story about me, about my experience. By under my first and last name, I can put the keywords I would like to be searched for. So in this place, I can write marketing and promotion expert dealing with Google Ads and others, because I have only one line over here. I can tell you why, but this, you can just put some more information in this place also. And do not use the about me description. Shall we proceed? Shall we go on?
We can, but I have one more question.
Okay.
Sorry for this, but I'm really interested in this topic. No, but also I think that my question is very good and it's very important for our participants. You have here some kind of status, yeah? The LinkedIn gives some special permits for like status or something like this. I saw that you have this gold LinkedIn in the, I saw here, yes, this one. What it means, and can you explain more how we need to get this status?
Well, of course, I can explain you, but I don't really know how to get this kind of the status, because it doesn't. It's not open information. It's something what LinkedIn offers you, depending of how long do you have profile, how often do you log in, publish, share. If you have if you do more, as you can see, I have my profile, but I also manage companies' profiles for few of them. So, and I have a lot of connection, almost 2,000. And what can I show you more?
Now I understand everything. Thank you.
Yeah,
so I understand. So you need to a lot of contacts
you have to
get this status.
You have to earn. It's like a prize, because when you are active for such a time, and there's no information how long, how many posts do you have. It's like a Google search algorithm. It's a kind of prize LinkedIn gives you, but you don't know when and really what for. You have to be active. And I wouldn't like to spoil you, but your activities you can see on your dashboard over here. So you can see how many people view your profiles. This is the statistic for 20 days. This is something I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but when we are here, we do not to answer now and talk about it. And as you can see, the numbers are very different. In August, I got like 4 viewers looking at my profile, but sometimes I have 157 views. So I will explain you why the numbers are different and why they are sometimes so big. But coming back to the presentation, can I come back? Okay.
Yes.
Oops, sorry.
Girls, if anyone have the question, please ask now. And don't be shy.
Yes, please.
I think you need to continue, and after the people will be like,
okay, this
tried.
This is the moment to tell you where to look for the inspiration about the content, about the nice posts that people or employees or users will like you. Well, I mentioned about a little bit when we looked at the Kawecki's profile, and this post about this grandma's diaries. I would like to show you a few posts from my profile and from the company's profile I manage. The first one, in the center with the 4 girls, behave like a Bonds girls because they are, with the guns, and this is a post related to the company's event organized for the leasing and factoring sector in Poland. And
I think you should stop sharing and switch the share the screen because the presentation is not shown now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for this.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this technical problem I will have because I need to switch from the link in all solutions to the presentation. And how about now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was speaking about this post in the center related to the event organized by company I'm working for the sector of leasing and factoring this year in September. And probably I would never ever have write this post and publish those pictures if not an accident. Before the event started, the photographer, the guy from the photos, they asked us just to stand and do the crazy, positions with the body and move a little bit because he wanted to put some try the camera. He wanted to do some technical stuff on camera. He just said, "Well, go on there and stand for the, just like a few photos." And we did. And before the conference, the event has finished, he just came to me and said, "Look, Natalie, how nice pictures did I have this by accident? Just take it and use it." And yeah, I was inspired by these photos. And the post I wrote was very funny. I said that in the post, I said that the event has been organized by the James Bond's girls team, and everything what could be take apart the conference or problems we have on the about the organization has been covered by our smile. We were very helpful and supported to the participants, and everything finally went well. And that we thank you for coming, and we invite everyone for the next year. The conference for over 200 people. Many things went not good, but the post, the character of the text and the pictures, they were very live. Can you see that we got with this post over 5,000 impressions? One post, pictures, photos by accident. So this is the inspiration. I just call this kind of the inspiration as an accident. Something happened. If the guy with the camera didn't show the pictures, I wouldn't never ever write this kind of the post. So everything will come by accident. You can of course plan your posts. Write about the events related to the company, all kind of the anniversaries, news, about awards, reports you are produced because you are an expert. You can also write and post about everyday lives of the company or you. The left one, the post on the left side, show the relation from the company events for the employees. So you can see the gallery, nice gallery with the post with the boss showing the statistics, if we are going well this year or not, if we will have the promises this year or not. You can see the people, they are smiling, they relax, they like each other. You can also see that we are not only, this is not only entertainment for us, but we are do work. So we have all kind of the workshops, trainings, and the organic impression with this post is over 3,000 views. And what is important and the difference between the first one and the second. The first one was shared by people out of the company, but was shared by the event participants or other clients. This one on the left, my side, with the guy with the red shirt, was shared and viewed by the people from our companies all around the world, because the company I work for is international. And this is a case presenting an example, presenting the posts related to the what's new in your company. You can have a nice office and make a pictures and put the gallery with the information. Hello, welcome a customer to the office. Whatever happened in your company might be an inspiration for the nice post. And the last one on the left, on the right side, with me in this modern chat. This is also the case how posts can be published by accident. I work for a very big company because we have almost over 200 persons on the board in Poland. All companies it's almost 6,000 people all around the world. And as a marketing leader, I do very different projects for our marketing. Also, photo session for the key employers in Poland. And this pictures was taken by my colleagues during this photo session. I pick up a very nice place in Krakow for these sessions. On the pictures are very, very, very nice. And I was very, very tired with this old job I had to do over there, prepare, and the people, they were late, and the weather even changed, and we had a problem with the light inside. I was very, very tired. So I sit on this chair in the hall, and I was, like, I won't do any more steps today. I can't. And my colleague with the phone, he did call me from my bed. And I turned and he took this picture. And he sent me this picture. After a couple of days, I just came back to his message, saw these pictures. And when I wasn't that tired, I forgot about all these troubles I had of the day. I just sat down and write a post that I'm very happy to having a very nice, inspiring and challenging job. And I'm happy I can work for the people, very nice people, very, very professional people who just likes me and missing the word in English, sorry. Oh, appreciate my job. They appreciate my job. And I just write the post like this and put it on I publish on my wall. And how many did I get? 5,000 reviews and 80 comments. And who has commented this post? People I work with right now, people I have worked with some times ago. So my colleagues from the latest companies, people who doesn't know me and would like to have a relation with my company, or the recruiters, or the companies for all kinds of the trainings. So there's a lot of possibilities you can get just having very good posts. And you don't have to create the content by yourself and spend money for the movie production. You don't have to buy a very expensive photos on the stocks. You just have to catch the accident, catch the situation. And I know that this is not easy and it doesn't come very often, but it doesn't matter. You just need to pay attention. Because if you will, this kind of the moment will happen, because happens every time in our life. Even after the webinar, you will go out and might happen something what can bring you to the LinkedIn with the nice post and photo or comment or whatever. Okay, I speak too much. I don't know how much time do we have for this webinar. But this is what I said yesterday.
We have one more hour, so yes, you can show us any topic what you want. So no, take your time, and also I won't ask you, the participant that asked the question. People, please ask the question, Natalia, because she knows.
Yes,
really
I have question. I have question, Diana. Can I? So first, hello, Natalia. Thanks for your presentation. It was really interesting for me. So my question is related to, of course, LinkedIn. I had a LinkedIn account, and can I share for you for example, in order to check my LinkedIn and give me directions or recommendations? Can I do this?
Yes, of course, but I would prefer to do this after the webinar, not right now. Okay?
Yes, of course, after the webinar, because everything is clear. That's why I don't have questions.
Okay, thank you. At the end, I will present my email address, and we can communicate this way or schedule a meeting. And of course, I will be more than happy to do more, not only show this presentation, but I would prefer continue because there's a lot of very interesting stuff. But at the moment,
okay,
I would like to say one more thing about this inspiration for posts. When you will
thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. When you will have business relation with the different companies, and you will participate in some kind of the project, write about it and publish the information on LinkedIn. Then, after the publication, ask your co-partner to share it. This is a great way to promote. This is a great idea for marketing because at first you have a content. Second, you show that you are an expert in some branch. The third, you show that you have a partner. So different companies who cooperate with you. So they recommend you. They recommend you because they do work. So all kind of the success story, key studies, projects, whatever you do in business or in your professional life, yeah, you do the professional photo session for your team. You are speaker for in kind of some kind of the events. Just publish this information because this is your success story. What is next? Now I see you very well, and I don't know what is next. Okay, how to find the employer. Before, when we were searching my personal profile, I show you how to mark your photo on LinkedIn, showing your employer that you are looking for the job, and the hashtag is open to work. But this is just for the record. I wouldn't like to switch to LinkedIn to show you this again, to do not waste any more time, but you will see this presentation is very easy. You got this screen where you define that you are looking for the job as a marketing leader, that you are open for the workspace, which is hybrid. You can work, of course, on site or remoted. You can describe the location you are looking for the job in. You can also describe the type of the job you are interested in. It could be a contract, partnership, whatever. But whatever you will define and you accept, save, add to the profile, your profile finally will mark, as you see over here, at your data Varenda profile, will mark with this kind of the graphics. LinkedIn does it automatically. And what is interesting that defining these preferences, you can also define who is going to see your profile with this kind of the graphics, with this kind of the metrics. You can define that everyone on LinkedIn or only recruitment. So if I would like to search for the job and I wouldn't like my boss to see that I am open for recruitment, I can just define in the preferences that only recruiters can see my profile with this mark, with this green graphic on my photo that I'm looking for. This function on LinkedIn, this way you can also mark your profile telling that you as a business owner are looking for people. Then you choose the hiring section, or you can mark your profile as a company profile that you are providing some kind of the services and you are open to schedule a demo. And the setting the preferences works similar. It's very simple. I can also show you to do it working on your profile, but one to one. Okay, so just to summarize little bit very shortly. At first, we were talking about how to create a profile, what is important to present on your profile, why it's important to create content and post very nice content and fulfill the information. Also use a specific keywords, specific phrase which are defining our position, our experience, our job preferences, or our solution products we are selling as a business. This is very important because when someone will visit my profile, companies or private profile, will know who am I, what am I worth as an expert, what can I do for the business, how can I develop my potential client's business, or what can I sell, or how can we cooperate. If you have a profile, you don't have a content on it, someone will visit and just leave it with no value, with no information, with no any image for the possibilities of cooperation. If you have a nice profile, you have content, you use specific keywords, it's obvious. It's like an open, it's like, you know, like an open catalog of possibilities to cooperate. Using the posting, writing, using keywords is very important for the search. Search in general, that I mentioned before Google search, because Google search also search on LinkedIn profile. And it's also very, very important for the LinkedIn Insight search, because LinkedIn has his own search engine and qualified person, people profiles, also company profiles by keywords, by information about the business sectors, experience, at industries, etc., etc. And if we would like to talk about the job scenario or company scenario, looking for a job or looking for the company to sell scenario, it will be the same scenario for both situations, because in the first and the second situation, we are looking for someone. We are searching for the person. We are searching for the people. That's why I would like to use from this moment of the presentation the words of lead, because the person, the company, is for us on LinkedIn, it's a lead. And how can we search on LinkedIn? We can use for searching two ways. The first one on the left side is a manual, and on the right side is a Sales Navigator solution you can find on LinkedIn. Now I would like to share my LinkedIn. So please let me know if I did it right and you can see it. Just a moment. Now, can I continue?
You did it right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. The first thing, the manual search, you probably know it, but so I will make it very short. The manual sorry, the manual search is very easy. You just use a search on LinkedIn in this place, and you can search. As you can see, what did I search for besides Kawecki? I search for a transport provider. Yes, so I just put the keywords I'm looking for over here in the search, and I got the profile of the people working for the as being company working as a transport provider. When I put here IT technology, so I will see all results connected to this keyword. And what can I do? Yeah, I would like to sell something to the Victor Okopanik, the director of information technology in Kraków. I have to at first connect, then I have to write him a message. if he will be so nice and he will accept my invitation, then I can start the conversation and a message exchange. So of course I can do it manually, and I will have this, and I will have this kind of the contacts, 100 or more pages. So it will be like thousands contacts. Yes, of course I can sit down and day and night I write the message, send invitation, and work as a small robot. Do not sleep, not eat, do not join the live. Just write to the people on LinkedIn and try to sell. But LinkedIn will stop your activities as soon you will send the messages very often, because the policy of LinkedIn is to allow people without charges send limited information, limited messages by month. So reaching this kind of the audience of potential clients of employing by hand, doing this by hand, will take months. But I don't have months because I need to be employed and get salary every month and pay my bills. And this is the same related to the business. If you want to reach your potential clients, you can do it by hand using this search and clicking one by one. Try to connect, and if someone will accept your invitation, send information, send a message to tell a little bit about your business and invite for the demo or presentation, and just get older. Spend a lot of time and not necessarily get an effect. This is the first possibility. Yeah, the manual searching. The second one is to use a sales navigator, let's say. This is a paid solution. I will compare this scenarios of searching, showing you also prices. But what is very, very important with this solution on LinkedIn, it's paid at first, but gives you very, very targeted possibility to search not only by simply keywords, but using different filters. At first, with the manual search, I didn't have any way to define. Even I look for the profiles, personal profiles, or I look for the accounts, for the company profiles. Sales Navigator gives me this possible this options. So at first I define: am I looking private profile, leads, or am I looking company's profile, account? Then when I choose leads, I can search for the people using simply keywords. As before, what was it? Transport provider. This way, I just added transport provider in IT. Look, in all LinkedIn, in all the world, I have 72,000 results. I wouldn't search at the moment because I would like to show you on this using these filters, how can I make the target group smaller and smaller and very well targeted to my needs. Then I can use geography. I can search for the transport provider IT in England, and and I can make this detail in Australia. Let's say, okay, how many? 72,000. Now I have 18,000. So as you can see that if I add a filter, the target group is getting to be smaller and smaller, but very much targeted for my needs. So I can define the industry, whatever, it doesn't matter. So please do not pay attention that I choose hospital and transport provider, it doesn't matter. But using filters, look here, I have 664 results. And now I can define that I'm looking for the person who speaks Czech language, because my company is from Czech and I don't know English, for example. okay, I have no results this way, but using Sales Navigator, and defined by filters, I'm reaching those people who are really for me. They are probably my employers or my clients. Make this search. Please do not pay attention that those results means nothing. But if you would like to look for the Sales Navigator, and if you would like to use Sales Navigator and look for some kind of the specific clients, you will get them here. Absolutely. I checked it many times when I cooperate with the salespeople in my company, and they told me, okay, now let's set the solution for banking, for banks, and to those people, to those banks who operates on the open banking sector. That's some kind of specific solution. I could find all people by filters, banks and open banking. And when we checked them one by one, they were reached absolutely terrific. So this, at the moment, I wouldn't like to, if you have an idea, what can I search for you in Sales Navigator right now, and you will be able to check those leads, you see this way that the match is very well. The match is made very well. But with the Sales Navigator, still you do everything manually. And the Sales Navigator is better than the manual search because there is no limits with the sending messages. If you don't have a Sales Navigator, when you send 10, 15 messages, LinkedIn will stop you, will block you. You won't be able to send messages. And when you pay for the Sales Navigator to LinkedIn, you don't have this limit. But still, you have to do everything manually. Search, connect to the people, and send the messages. Do we have an alternative? Yes, we do. But do you have a question to this moment, to the Sales Navigator? Okay, if you don't, so let me switch to the presentation.
For example, I never use this navigator. I'm doing some search because I don't need a lot of people. I not need some specific persons. I'm searching only specific persons, for example, from university or some from my field.
Yes.
And that's really cool. But this is like really nice. I never use it, but I will try it, sure.
Yes. But as you mentioned, you didn't have any needs until now, yes?
Until now, no, yes, I did.
Yeah, you didn't have a need, so you didn't even search for this kind of the solution because you didn't need it. But you have your business and looking for the business relation in your country, in Georgia, or if you would like to expand your business out of your country, it's very nice tool and gives you these contacts, on the one page, just by clicking few filters. Okay, now let me come back to the presentation. I don't know how to do it. Stop sharing. Okay, and share the presentation. Okay. So on this slide, I just to remind you, we have a manual search, and we have also manual, but with a lot of filters. The first one is free, but have limits, and the Sales Navigator is paid and doesn't have a limit to send the messages, and also gives you more filters to search for your clients or employers. And just to reset for the moment and summarize, from the start of our meeting, we have created the profile. We just fulfill them with the nice information, nice content, with the phrases and keywords for search. and we showed ourselves to the employers and clients as an expert. We have also connected to other people and built our network, and we have started to search for the other people, for the other profiles manually. And what else can we do to have a better effect of our activities? We can use sales robot for automatic lead generation. And this is a sorry, this is a website, salesrobots.pl, and I know that it's in Polish, as you can see, but I contacted them yesterday, and they are absolutely sure that the system, the interface, the robot, the solution is able to work in Georgian too. Sales robot, can you help to generate leads automatically without any limits of sending messages on LinkedIn, reaching the profiles, getting the connection, and what is the most important, finally, the sales robots send the information to your prospects, to your potential employers automatically. So it's also in Georgian, as I said. And before I will show you the solution, we'll get into the admin of the sales robot. In Polish, of course, I got the interface, but it's similar. I would just translate it, and it's similar in Georgian. I would like to tell you shortly how does the automatic lead generation works, so you will just understand my presentation in the solution. At first, you automatically generate the target group base using the sales navigator on LinkedIn, as I showed you before. But using the sales robot, you don't have to pay LinkedIn for the sales navigator, because the price for the sales robot includes the money for the sales navigator. So when you use the sales navigator, sales robot, and pay fee to the company who provides the solution, the price includes the sales navigator price. So you don't pay twice, but you have to use the sales navigator first to define and generate the target group database to use it for the sales robot. This is maybe not clear enough at the moment, but I will show you where they put the link after the search in the sales navigator, and you will understand. Then the robot automatically, with any of your actions, invites the people to your database, to your connection, to your networking. You don't do nothing. You just define the campaign in the sales robot, put the link from the sales navigator, define the target group, and robot invites the people to your connection automatically with any click of your finger, just going automatically. Then, when the person you can send the invitation to get the relation together, accept, the robot starts to send the automatically send the communication you will define in the robot. So if I would like to reach the transport provider in Georgia, I define in Sales Navigator this kind of the profile I'm looking for. I got the link to this database. After I press the search, I got this list with the contacts. I just copy the link from the URL window to the sales robot. In the sales robot, I define the communication, and I define that the first my communication message to the transport provider in Georgia is about it's introduction. Hello, I'm Natalie. I'm looking for this kind of the companies. I have a very nice project. We can cooperate together. You can get the money, reputation, references, and do good to the world for them. Yeah, this is from the top of my head. So, and the second communication I define in the robot that, okay, the first he just accept me to the network. The second I did the introduction. The next follow-up with the communication should be, let's say, let's schedule a meeting, 15 minutes later, meeting. I will show you the results, the project I work on, and you will decide if it's important and nice for you, it's any value or not. Okay, and the last step with the communication, I can define. Sorry, you didn't reply on my messages. If you will find my professional experience interesting or the project I work for interesting, please contact me anytime you wish. This is from the top of my head, the communication I would like to do. And the first solution, searching the profiles on LinkedIn manually, I would have to do all this communication manually, sending message by message. On the sales robot, yeah, I define the text of the communication once, and the sales robot sends this automatically. What is important, the sales robot works only on private profiles, not on the company profiles. And what is important, I will show you how easy and nicely does the sales robot works, because I can imagine that the sales robot generates all kinds of the statistic reports automatically also. And finally, during the process, you have to be involved anyway, because at the moment the clients or employers or will respond. You have to respond manually by yourself. Do not leave this to the robot, because if you do not respond, the person who will answer with the personal information, with the personal message, and you won't respond personally, your clients will receive the next automatic communication from the robot and will just go crazy. Okay, I wrote to Diana about the weather, and she answered me and asked me for the meeting. Why she's not answering my message about the weather? But if you answer, the robot stops. So it's very intelligent solution based on artificial intelligence and behavior tracking of the user. So I talked too much. Let's go to the robot. Okay, stop sharing and share the robot. And just a moment, please. Could you please tell me if you see the interface of sales robots?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So as I mentioned before, I work for the company from financial sector, and we sell the solution to the banking sector, leasing, factoring, loan, debt collection, whatever you do with your money in Poland. If you have any debts, any credits, we know all about you. And basically our clients, for example, banks or loan companies, they use our solution and check if such a person applying for loan or credit is able to pay the credit back. So we base on the big data and very, very sophisticated IT solutions. And how do I use the sales robot to sell the solutions to the clients? I work with the three person with the sales robot. One of those persons are myself, and each of the person has a different goals defined. My case is very, very, very easy, because me as a Natalia Ivan, I manage our company's profile, and in my interest is to invite as many potential clients to follow our company profiles. So in the sales robot, I create campaign for myself on my name. The name of the campaign is profile, company's profile. This is my goal first, to get more followers. And I have to do 3 steps in sales robot to define and start the campaign. As you can see, the yellow means that my campaign are active. They have started. So we are really working and presenting on the cases on the living campaign, active campaign. I won't switch anything to do not change it, but to show you how to define the campaign and use the sales robot is enough to open the steps. The first step is to define the target group. It's very easy. I click over here to manage the target group. I put over here the link of the target group. I search over here on LinkedIn. I search, as I said before, when I got the proper target group, I copy the link like this, and I put the link over here. And now I will delete it to do not redefine mine group. But when I put the link over here and press the green button at the URL, I will connect all those profiles from LinkedIn Navigator to the sales robot to be able to send the message to those people automatically. As you can see here, I really added a link URL to the target group, profiles from the Sales Navigator from LinkedIn. But as I said, it's working on, so I wouldn't like to change it. Do you think that this steps is easy and you understand it?
Okay, for me, yes. But I want to just ask you. You need
Yes,
to.
Yes, it is understandable.
Okay, thank you.
You need to create some profile here, special profile here, or I just maybe you said before, but I didn't remember.
I didn't say, but can I answer in a few minutes? Can I answer this question in a few minutes, please? Okay. So the first step is to define the target group on search on the Sales Navigator and connect this sales robot with this target group from LinkedIn. Over here, you can define how many invitations to the people is going to be sent by robot daily. As you can see, I wouldn't like to bother my prospect clients too much. And I defined that I send automatically from my profile between 15 and 30 invitations, no more. But I can be very aggressive. Yes. And I can send over 100, but I wouldn't like to do this. Okay. This places to define the information by message in LinkedIn, but this part defines how many email with the invitation I will send. So this part is bigger. This is because I did it, because I've been working on this campaign 3 months, and I got some kind of the experience, and I know that the email invitation works better. That's why I sent more invitation by email and less invitation by messages to LinkedIn. I also define that the invitation will be sent between 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. It's working time in Poland. Of course, some people start at 7. I usually start at 7 or 6 and finish at 2. But this is approximately working time in Poland. So this was the first step to define the target group, connect to the sales robot, and define how many and between the time and you define the time and how many invitations is going to be sent from the sales robot. The second, what does the robot does when you define this? Send to this group, you connect it to the sales robot, automatically invitation to invite the person to your network. Doesn't send any content, doesn't send any information about the company, about the schedule of meeting or something. No, just to invite, because at first at LinkedIn you have to connect with someone to follow the communication. What is next? You define next step with the communication. You just define and describe the follow-ups with the messages. You define that after someone accepts the invitation from you to your network, after 2 days, such a person will automatically receive from you information. And this is such information. Hello, okay, I can edit it because it's live. The information, hello, I'm inviting you to follow the Chris LinkedIn Poland profile. This is the greatest information, sorry about that. This is the greatest information about the database analytics and automation solution for the companies from the financial sector. Sorry guys, this is a translation from the top of my head. But whatever I would like to say to the potential clients or employers in the first message, I just write it over here. In Polish, we have a different difficulties with the language, Polish language, because we different spell when we talk to lady, and we different spell when we talk to the guy, to the man. And that's why for Polish, the interface has information general and also has information dedicated to the women and dedicated to the men, because we spell in Polish different way. For Georgia, for English, you don't have it because you have a simple way to communicate. And whatever, we just define the text and just press the button, yellow button, to start active to activate the communication on the first step. You can use a follow to and different text. You can use the follow 3 and follow 5, and these steps you can use as many as you need. But you have to be very logic and think hardly about the communication you just offered by automatic communication using this robot, because it must have to be automation logic. If you introduce the company as the first follow-up, and then in the second you invite someone to for the meeting, you can't just switch the communication, because your client will see that something is wrong with you, or will recognize that this is the robot communicates, not the person. And this is on this side you can just use different options. And as you see on the third step, you don't understand, I know. On the second step, I just mark that robot do not send the next follow-up if the client responds. So what does it mean in practice? Look at please my messages. This is my inbox. Because of the sales robot, I got many people accept my invitation all the time, between 10 and 3 p.m. Between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. because it's robot does. I've been providing you with this information, having this meeting with you, but the robot works all the time. See, 153, 151, 129. It was a time during our meeting, yes. But look what happens. Okay, Strojny Wojciech, he received. Come on, he received. Make it bigger, yes. He received the information from me sent by the robot. He sends me whatever emoticon. He said something to me, whatever. It's a graphic or text, doesn't matter. What did I do? I immediately respond, have a nice day, thank you. But in this moment, when he responds, the communication in robot stopped. Why? The case about communication between me and Diana about the weather. If the Wojciech in this moment, in this part of the communication, we would write to me about the weather, and I would respond with the information about schedule a meeting, it would be something horrible, something very not professional. So that's why, at first, on this stage, defining the communication with the steps of follow-up, you have to think with the logic. And the second thing, when the robot starts to work, you have to respond on the your potential client's answer, because if they won't respond, you have to start working as a human, not as a robot, because it will be disaster. It won't work. It won't bring you any good image, any clients, any potential recruiters or employees. Someone will recognize that the robot sends the information. But if you just remember about this communication with logic and about your response, the robot works absolutely great. What I'd like to see and convince you that the robot works great, let me show you a statistics. I mentioned that the reports and statistics are generated automatically. And as you can see, I have 3 people who has a different campaign, because on one profile, I have only one campaign, no need more. But my colleague, Joanna, has 3 campaigns. And my colleague, Rafał, has 2 and had 2 more. And on one personal profile, you can have as many automatic campaign as you wish. Speaking about the results, look at the statistics. The first is me, the third is Rafał. Sorry, there's no other way to show, to move. Please look on the general statistics. On my profile, all invitations sent, it doesn't matter if it was via LinkedIn messages or via email, for 3 months statistics we are looking for. I had over 1,000 sent invitations. But from those invitations who has been sent to the different profiles, 967 people accepted. And this is very good results, don't you think? Very good results. But my colleague, the robot does better on his profile. Look, from his profile, from Rafał's profile, was 1,086 invitations sent, and look this. How many was accepted? It's a huge number. It's a very good conversion, and I just well, I don't know why he's doing better than me, but he's an expert for banking, and it's a specific sector. He sends the information as invitation to the people from banking. It's like he sends to the people from his branch about the same experience, and he's a man. It's important in business in Poland. Men perform much better than women. So that it could be a reason.
In
know.
Georgia, I did the same, unfortunately.
So, yeah. But you know, I think that the most reason that he performs better is it's that he targets to the sector, to the banking sector. I target to all financial sectors. So for banking, leasing, so to many people. I'm not a speaker on the branch events, so people doesn't know my face. And people from banking, they know Rafał. So it could be many reasons, but anyway, the performance is great. Yes, no. Can you think how many time and how many effort you can spare to reach 100 accepted invitation on LinkedIn? Try to do it. Try to invite people for one day, no longer, and you will give up because it's a very hard job. And as we are speaking about Rafał results, look on his campaign. He sent information to the people from digital banking. His database received at the moment two information. Look, I turn off the third one because on this stage, people scheduled a meeting with Rafał. So we just decided that we will redefine the campaign because there's no need to have a follow-up number 3 if they convert on the follow-up number 2. So as you see the results, the possibilities, there's always a walk. Yes, there's always a walk. But what he does, he says, okay, this is an introduction and, and especially important, what he's focusing on: risk, database, digital, and PSD2. This is some kind of the European law about open information from the banks, what the banks gives to the financial sector. So the first one is introduction. The second is about hello, would you like to cooperate? And on this stage, the people says, yes, we would love to, or not, thank you. So we just turn off the follow-up 3. Do you have any question on this stage, on this, in this moment about the sales robot? Because I would like to show you how, what is the effect from the sales robot on the company profile on LinkedIn and personal profile on LinkedIn.
Just I have the one question, like more technical question. When you are sending all invitation and on letter and someone answer you, it means that the next invitation will be not sent him or
correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Whereas there is, if you have any action, human action in the process, the guy you send the invitation to respond, or you respond to someone, the sales robot start sending the automatically communication to do not make any mistake. This is very intelligent solution based on, as I mentioned, artificial intelligence and behavioral tracking of the user, but anyway, doesn't understand the context of the messages. So when I start to connect you for the business reason, and at the beginning of the communication, we will find more interesting subject to talk, to send the messages. Let's say about the weather. The robot stops because it doesn't make any sense to follow the communication defined and prepared for some reason you described in the campaign you open. And you've asked me about the technical problem. How does it? What to do to start the campaign? Well, this is the secret of the sales robot company. You just you have to create an account in the interface at first, and unfortunately gives to these guys from the support your login and a password to your profile on LinkedIn, just only for once, and they connect the sales robot to your profile. You don't do it by yourself, because this is like a company's business, mysteries. Their value, they don't share it, but they do it. Then they don't use your login and password for any reason, and the reason then only to connect you. And after this, you just manage everything by yourself. yourself, and the company doesn't have an access to my interface, to my admin. And of course, if I need their support, they just schedule a Zoom meeting, and I share the screen, and they just guide me what to do to fix the problem, but they are not interact any of my action in this interface.
And this is working only on LinkedIn or in another social media too?
No.
This is only for LinkedIn.
Yes, this sales robot is dedicated only for LinkedIn
Okay.
because of these communication system who has been created for LinkedIn, and the base is on the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. That's why when you buy an access to this tool and pay the charge for the sales robot, the charge includes Sales Navigator at once. You don't pay separately. So if you don't have any more questions to the interface of sales robots, please let me switch to the presentation and summarize a little bit and give you and show you an effects on LinkedIn, on personal profile and on company profile. But just to summarize and make clear how does the automatic lead generation works, I show you step by step in these bullets on this slide what we have to do to achieve our goals and to succeed with this process. At first, we need to define a goal, what we want to achieve. If I want to get 100 new clients to schedule a demo and to make presentation of the demo, finally to sell, it will be my goal. This goal is important to properly define the campaign in Sales Robot. Then the second step is to define the database on LinkedIn profile.
Do you share your screen? Because
sorry guys. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Yes, now it's good.
Oh, sorry guys. So I was on the step 2. We define the database using the link in Sales Navigator and put the link as we saw on the presentation. It's very easy and it's easy. Okay. The third step is to think and write down, define the communication, this follow-ups, the steps to communicate, to think about with the great logic about it, and do not do any mistake with this communication, to not confuse our client. And those 3 steps you can do out of the interface, out of the admin. You just can sit down, write down the text, or search by filters your database on LinkedIn. And the next steps require the access to the robots, because you manage all those elements for the campaign, as I showed you before, into the robot. As I said, it's very simple, and you can ask support anytime you need. They answer with the support very quickly, and they are very helpful. Then when you manage the campaign into the interface, into the admin, you just press the buttons to the green and you start the campaign. Of course, as I mentioned, everything goes automatically from the sales robot, but you have to pay attention and monitor the campaign to react, to redefine, to provide the changes into the campaign if it's needed. As I show you on Rafał's follow-up, he didn't need a third follow-up, the third stage, and we just delayed it. We just stopped it because for different sectors, for different profiles, for different people, those campaigns will work different ways. There's no only one process. There's no only one answer to the question, what is the best way in this way? The solution is very nice, save us a lot of time, but we don't know at the beginning of the campaign how our clients will respond. So we don't have, we shouldn't be, you know, perfectly satisfied with the results. And from time to time, it's very, it's needed to check the reports, to talk to the others. I do campaign for my colleagues, so I need to talk to them and ask them, is it working right or not? And as I said, do the changes, because, you know, everything changes. So we need to optimize our campaign too. Listen, this slide shows the LinkedIn results. On the left side, you can see my profile with my photo and with the statistics. Those robots, this, I don't know if you see my arrow, these robots show the moments when I started the sales robots on my profile to invite people to follow LinkedIn of company I work for. This might be a little bit confusing because on my profile, I ask other people to join a different profile of the companies. But look, when I communicate with the people on LinkedIn, they always check my profile first before they do the action, whatever I ask. That's why at the beginning of the presentation, I said, look at the quality of the content on your profile, because the people will check you for sure, absolutely will check you for sure. And as you see, those statistics, when I started to work with the viewers, the people, they will visit my profile and they view my profile. At this moment over here, where everything collapsed, it collapsed just because I wasn't aware, and by accident, I turned off the robot on my profile. Sorry, didn't work, and no viewers at all. When I fixed the problem, the technical problem with the guys from Sales Robots, the viewers came back, and the statistics just jumped up. And as I mentioned before, this is not active, but on my profile, I showed you the statistic. Before the Sales Robot, I had like 4 viewers, and with the Sales Robot, I have over 100 viewers. This is personal profile. So definitely people check the profile. And the right statistics show how many followers reach the company profiles I work for. This is connected. I repeat, I invite the people on LinkedIn using the Sales Robot on my private profile. And I ask them, I invite them to follow the profile of the company. And in this moment, as I show you the little graphic called LinkedIn Ambassador, at my company, in 2021, I collected, let's say, I collected 20% of the key workers from the company I work for, and I just offered them LinkedIn Ambassador program. This program was focused on good quality on key workers' personal profiles on LinkedIn. To this moment, 20% key workers from my company just work on their personal profiles to upgrade the content quality. They publish posts, write nice posts, they just fulfill the profile with all the graphics, text, and section, and others. And share posts from the company profiles. But we didn't have a very good effect. In this moment, it doesn't look like it's bigger numbers than this peak, but it's equal. It's staying on the same level. Staying on the same level. To the January 2021, I reached for the cliff for my company profile. I reached 3,000 followers, and from this moment, from the August 2021, when I turned off the robot, I increased the number of followers for company profile by 1,700. I wouldn't like to say that I doubled the numbers, the metrics, because it's not true, but I reached more than 50% more followers by 3 months using of sales robots. Any question? I would like to be sure that on this moment you realize the connection and relation between private profile and action on private profile to the company profile. Of course, if you have a business, if you have a business owner, and you can have now on LinkedIn only personal profile and do all the action on your personal profile and do not have to have any relation to the other profile. You don't have to make it just, for fun, the company profile. You can work on your profile, sell on your profile, and do all business activities just on your profile. But if you have two profiles, companies and private profile, this relationship is important. It's very important, because from my action, I just offer click to action further on the profile of the company's profile. We are all, yeah, it's okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Natalia. It's really, really informative. It's really cool tool, which we, even that I didn't know about that. I like the LinkedIn, but I never used it before, this automatic solution. So that we have a lot of persons here who have some businesses and who want to have a more connection and kind of more networking for them business. So it's a really nice tool to help them, and I think it will be helpful for them to get more opportunities. Yes. So yes, that's really nice. If I have any questions, if you have anyone some questions, please ask. Natalia is here, and she also will help you for your LinkedIn profile, private LinkedIn profile. She can. So how I understand, Natalia? Yes, this is
yes. Yes, of
they
course.
they can connect with you.
Of
They
course,
can
yes.
write you, and so all participants can write Natalia and ask her to keep and to take from her the great suggestions to update your profile LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
LinkedIn profile.
Absolutely, I'm very open, and we're almost at the end of the presentation. Can I switch to the end? Okay, thank you. So to summarize this part of the automatic lead generation solution, I'd like to give you 9 tips. I absolutely mentioned it before, but at first, it's very important to remember about this. Remember about to prepare professional profiles and have a nice content. Then more you can be an expert and be an influencer and publish your opinion and comment about solution situation, and let the clients or employers know that you are your experience is great value. And then the important thing to remember and prepare a good image of the company, of employers, is to build the network of contacts. And when you have a good quality of content on LinkedIn, then you can turn any kind of the automatic solution. Without these first 3 steps, don't even bother because it won't work. It won't bring you any effects. If you are good, have a good profiles, you can use different solutions, but it's important to adjust your audience to the campaign's goal. So if you sell the software for accounting, you do not dedicate the campaign to the lawyers, for example. Okay? Then you write the communication in the solutions very natural way with the logic. It was a first. The next step is to join the communication personally. If clients answer, do not leave it for the automatic communication. This is the weather case we are talking. I was talking as an example with communication to Diana. When Diana asked me about the weather, I answered about the weather, and not robot answers about the schedule a demo. And the next, remember to evaluate the campaign to be sure that you got the results and that change the parameters if needed to get the effect, to get a better effects, get the better statistics. The almost last tip is to remember that even the campaign on the sales robot works very well, and you got a lot of invitation accepted. And even you schedule a meeting or whatever is going on next, this is not the end of your work. This is not the end of the process, because you always have to go apart a little bit farther. Even you got a lot of the invitation. What do you need them for if you do not invite those people for the product presentation? If you understand what I mean, the work never finishes, because you work on relation, you work on the on relation, and you work to achieve some kind of the goals. But using a sales robot and any kind of the solution for automatic lead generation, you do not stop. Because you just need to achieve a goal, and just using solutions is not a goal. Selling, recruiting, this is a goal. And what is the most important, however the solution works well, better, whatever you can improve it, you always have to remember to work as a human, because there will be absolutely the moment you have to take the communication on you and stop the robot and be yourself, and just change the relation from the robot to the human. So remember that robot works, but you have to be a human. This slide shows you summaries a little bit about this three ways of searching. Everything what is on this slide has been told during the presentation. Just to get to the point, this manual Simply Research on LinkedIn let you build your networking flow, and the process is all manual. The Sales Navigator gives you better solution, better tool to search by filters, and saving a time, because using the filters, the database generates a little bit semi-automatic, and the process is semi-automatic, and you build your network faster because there's no limits for sending messages invitation. But at the end, the sales robot solution or other solution for automatic leads generating helps you definitely saves the time for searching, for communication, and gives you the opportunity to build your network very fast by automatic using automatic processes. But of course, those kind of the solutions are paid, and even Sales Navigator in LinkedIn is paid also. I compare the prices to Polish market. So it could be absolutely different in Georgia, but sorry for that, I didn't have enough time to ask for Georgia's prices. But I can, of course, or you can ask directly to this company. But this is not my point, because you can find your own domestic solutions. But just to let you know, to give you an impression, for Polish market, Sales Navigator for one user monthly costs about $100. And the solution as a sales robot costs per month for one person, one user, $200. It's like a twice. The price is bigger, but the sales robot price includes Sales Navigator. Okay, the summary is very simple and very straight. I think that our meeting was full of information. We have inspiration, we have instruction, we have a solution presentation. But I would like you to remember, whatever I said, you will have the presentation and this movie from our meeting. But at the end, I would like to share with you some kind of the idea of what is the marketing and how to do marketing with the effects. So please remember that whatever the graphic showed you on the right side, referring to the LinkedIn profile and LinkedIn relationship with the business or employees, remember please that success in marketing in the long-term perspective is always repetitive sequences of the actions. There's no way that you will succeed with LinkedIn, Facebook, other social media channels or different marketing projects. If we want to think about this as an action you have to take and do not ever leave, because whatever you would like to use from our meeting, the knowledge, if you use this word knowledge at once like this, and everything what was told today, you would like to use on LinkedIn profile, and you wouldn't do the next step, next action, you wouldn't succeed in marketing. We had a question during the presentation, but if there's more question, it's time for the question now. And as I said, I will be more than happy to talk to you personally or write to you personally and fulfill the topics, because I know that the time is it's short, and that LinkedIn platform with the possibilities, preferences, functions is a very big solution. So I'm very open, as I said, to personal communication. But if you have a time, it's time for question now. If you have more questions, I'm happy to answer. I would like to mention, when Diana is calling, I would like to mention also that I will be in Georgia for our conference in TBDC between December 4th and December 12th. So maybe this will be a possibility to meet each other personally also. So you can think about the personal meeting too.
Thank you, Natalia, for your presentation once more. So the robot is really a first and innovative technique for me. So I need time for think about everything what you told us, because it is really big information. So I don't have question yet, but I will have soon because I have to think about it, every technique in practice. So I will message you or in Facebook or LinkedIn. Can I do this? Yes, in order to ask some detailed questions?
Absolutely. On the last slide I'm showing now, you can find my personal email address.
Okay.
It's very simple. And Diana also has contact to me and can share the contact with you. So of course, take your time.
I will send also the this presentation. So also you are also in our group, Facebook group, I think. If not, I will add you.
Of course. Let me share the last slide with the contact to you. I'm just missing the share button. I'm sorry, just a moment. What do I share? Share screen. Little bit of technology and I'm lost. Could you please let me know if you see the last slide of the presentation with the email address to me?
Yes, we can see your screen. Natalia Ivan gmail.com. Yes.
Yes, correct. Yes. Yes, gmail.com.
So people can add you on the Facebook, on LinkedIn. So also we will add you on the group too. And you can also connect it, have a fast connection.
Yes,
and so on.
Yes, welcome. But you know, speaking about Facebook group, please write in English to me, because when you use your native language, I'm not able to read it, and my Polish Facebook doesn't make any translation. So please.
Don't worry, we will do this in English.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the interesting presentation. I think that it was really informative. Thank you, all participants. And if someone not have some question, we can finish, because we already the time our limit that we not on that time, but still, if someone have more questions, please. You have the chance now. If not, then we can say thank you, Natalia, for your time, for your great presentation and really helpful information. And I think that even I will be send you my profile information and so on. So I will be manage myself too to do this.
Thank you very much for all of you for being with us today. It was a great pleasure. I'm so happy that I could share some women Polish view on the business and LinkedIn using to do the things better, and to do the business better, present yourself better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And goodbye.
Thank you once more. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hello. Bye. Bye.
Bye.